Today we're going to do a real-world owner review of the 2020 Hyundai Venue. So here's how we're going to do this. We're going to meet the owner of the car. We're going to talk to them about why they bought it. We're going to take it for a short drive. We'll take a quick look at the specs and the options of this vehicle. We'll take a short look at some of the competitors to this vehicle if you're shopping in this category. And we'll end with some final thoughts, and I'll tell you what I would buy if I was shopping in this category. A huge thanks to Natalie for letting us review her car. If you'd like me to review your car or truck, RV, or anything else, please send me an email at ian288@gmail.com or send me a message through Facebook. And without further ado, let's transport to Irvine, California and start the review on the Venue. Say hi, Natalie.
Hello.
Okay, so we're here doing the review of the Hyundai Kona. Oh no, I'm sorry. What is it?
Venue.
Venue. Okay, it's a smaller one. So this is my sister-in-law, Natalie. So Natalie, why don't you just tell us just briefly like the car you had before this and then why you bought this particular car?
Scion XA 2004.
It was an XA, okay. So you had the Scion XA 2004, which is also a really small car.
Yes, which is also a really small car, but that car is getting so old, so I just have to get a new one. What I really like about the Venue is that it's the fuel economy, it's awesome. It's really spacious and I just love the looks of it.
Yes, and this is a cool color too. Do you remember what this color is called? It's like a matte gray, but they have a name for it. We'll put that up here, but I can't remember.
I saw this color, I just fell in love. It's so unique.
So is this bigger or smaller than your Scion was?
It's definitely bigger. It has a lot of headroom.
Right.
We can show you that later.
I guess they call us a crossover, don't they? Which is kind of funny because it's really just a Hyundai accent that's been lifted up.
Yes, it's a small, what they call a compact crossover SUV.
Right.
It has the look of an SUV, but definitely not the size.
Well, here we have my wife's CX-5 right behind it. Now, you know, from this angle, you kind of think like, oh, they're the same size, but it's actually much smaller than something like this. This is a mid-size crossover. Competes with the Toyota HR-V, the Nissan Kicks, and if you went up a size class, you're going to have things like the Mazda CX-30, the Kia Soul. You're going to have a bunch more cars if you go up, but actually for something this small, there's not too many competitors. How much research did you do when you decided to buy this car?
Actually, I didn't do that much research. It was recommended by my car broker.
Why don't you tell us like just real basic things like what you like about it, what you don't like about it, anything you would change?
So what I really like about it, again, definitely the fuel economy, because sometimes I can get up to like 47 or 50 miles per gallon.
Really, that much?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I get really good. Yeah. Mileage.
I'll put up the EPA ratings here on the screen, but I think the EPA rating is like 32 or 35, something like that. So she's getting way better than that. So that's something to take note of.
Yeah, so I'm getting way better than that. Another thing that I love about it is that there's a lot of headroom.
A lot of headroom, okay.
I love this department where you can put your stuff. The infotainment system, it's awesome.
Yeah, oh, I like these. Oh, you have window tint, that's nice. But I like these two-tone seats. The interior doesn't look boring. It's pretty. I like how that has the gray and the black seats. That's really nice. From a distance, it almost looks like leather seats because of the contrast, but...
Yes, the design's very simple and yet it's very elegant. So I really have no complaints about this car yet. They have a very good warranty. The one thing that I don't like about it is that it doesn't have the light.
Yeah, so I was talking to Natalie earlier, and one thing she said that, so for the first year of the Venue, which is 2020, they didn't, some of the active safety features, they didn't have them all standard. So the car came standard with lane keeping assist, automatic emergency braking, but it didn't come with blind spot monitors. Right? And you felt like it kind of probably should have come with that standard.
Yeah, because blind spot monitor, every car has that feature except for mine. And if you want it, you have to pay extra for it, which I don't think you should pay extra for it.
Yeah. So I was just reading Hyundai updated for 2021. Now the SEL, which this model is, this is the SEL, which is a mid-level. For 2021, that does come standard now on it, but for 2020, they did not. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, they used to offer this car in a manual transmission, but they already dropped that for 2021. So you obviously you were not going to buy the manual transmission one.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
and see, this is why manuals are going away. But yeah, actually they completely dropped the manual choice for 2021. They have like a phone app, right? Like Blue Link or something, but you didn't get it with this.
Yeah, so I got the SEL, which is the middle trim, but I didn't spend any extra money on the convenient package. So if you want the Blue Link feature, you have to have the convenient package. I believe that costs at least I could be wrong, but at least a couple of hundreds more.
Okay. So you feel like they're kind of nickel and diming you to get the stuff that probably should have just come with the car in the first place.
Right, exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. So how do you use the car? I mean, you commute a lot for your job, right? So you basically bought it as a commuter car.
Yes.
You don't have kids, so a smaller car works for you. So you really wanted the good highway MPG, the fuel economy. You're going to keep your cars a long time.
Yes, if you have kids, I don't know, because the back is pretty small, so I don't know if you can actually fit a car seat in here.
Try our car seat because we have it with us. The back seat's a little bit tight, but I mean, you have to keep in mind this is a very, very small vehicle. So let's open up the back. If I can figure out how to open it. There we go. So you can see she's got a few things in here, but this is not that big. So you can see her purse here, you know, takes up almost the whole length of that. So it's a pretty small cargo area. We'll put up what the cubic feet is. But this is probably actually a little bigger than your Scion was, isn't it?
Yeah, it's honestly just a little bit bigger than my Scion. It has definitely more headroom, but that's about it. If you're looking for an SUV that will fit your whole family or for a road trip, I don't think this car is for you.
Right. So it's not really good for road trips or families or things like that. It's a really good like commuter car or town city car, easy to park.
Yes,
you mentioned the fuel economy. The long warranty was really important to you. So this is going to appeal to a lot of buyers. And can we ask what you paid for this car?
Yeah, I think I paid about $20,000 for this. So
and that was like everything, like taxes and everything.
Yeah, I walk out the door with $20,000.
So out the door, brand new car with a 10-year warranty, $20,000. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
There's not many cars you're going to get that for.
No, it's good for, you know, recent college graduates.
It's okay, we can keep filming. You know, this is a real review here. We're going to review your minivan next.
And you have to be in it just like that.
Yeah, you have to have all your car seats. Practical reviews, that's what we're all about.
Yeah.
But basically you're really happy with it. And for the money, I mean, you're not going to get a better deal than this, right? So we're getting in to do the test drive of the I keep calling it a Kona. It's a Venue.
Yeah.
I must like the Kona, but okay. So there's no push button start. Now, can you get a push button start on this car, or do all of them have the key?
I think it's one more trim up. It's either that or you do the convenient package.
I like their gauges, really big and legible numbers, like really easy to read. Steering wheel controls are really nice. We've got the cruise control and stuff there, and then over here we've got the audio and the phone controls. Let's see, buttons here on the left. There's a lane departure button there you can turn off. Traction control turn off. Gauge lights. Pretty basic car. I think a lot of people will like this car because it's just a basic car. It has what you need, but not a bunch of extra stuff. The stocks, you've got intermittent wiper control here. It doesn't have automatic wipers, but you're not going to get that on a car like this. It does have automatic headlights, which is a good thing. So you use Android Auto.
Yes, I use Android Auto. That is correct.
So
yeah, and then another funny thing about this car is that so there's only have lights back here. They don't have another light up front.
Oh,
so
that is
at night,
strange.
It's really dark. What you can do is you take this down, you turn this on, and when you're done, you just turn off the lights like that.
That is strange that there's no
dark.
dome light.
Yeah,
like it looks like there should be something here. You see this cutout?
Yeah.
Like what's going on there? They give you a light back here. That's kind of strange.
Yeah, so they won't have, so it's at night, it's pretty dark in here. So a lot of time I find myself, I have to use the lights up front, which is one little thing I don't like, but
yeah, that's interesting.
It's something you can live with.
So Natalie was just showing me the door locks, this interesting thing. That you don't really know what's locked and what isn't because there's no like red strip on it. So that's kind of interesting. Otherwise, I would say there's a lot of hard plastics, but that's what you expect to something of this price range. I mean, from a distance, everything looks good. It is a plastic steering wheel, you know, but again, this car was, you know, stickered for $17,000 or $18,000, brand new. So you can't ask too much. The armrests are kind of hard. She has a cover on this. But then if you took it off, at least you have it here. And this is obviously a storage. It's kind of small, but again, it's a small car. Do you ever use the drive mode button? Do you even know what that does?
It has 3 different drive mode. I never really tried.
I hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you like this content and you want to see more content like it, please help me create more of this by doing 3 things. You can subscribe to the channel, you can hit the thumbs up button on the video, and you can also consider becoming a supporter on Patreon. Thank you so much for watching, and now back to your video. So we're gonna take a drive in Natalie's car. We're gonna try to be nice to it, although I probably will floor it, so, you know.
Oh, and then the brake.
Oh, that's really cool. It has a manual parking brake. I like that.
Yes, I like that too.
It just has an old school parking brake, not the stupid electronic button. So we're gonna drive it around town, and then we're gonna go take it on the freeway to see how it feels on the freeway, and then we'll come back home, and then we'll wrap this thing up. So let's see how tight the turning radius is. Background camera is kind of low resolution, but it's really big screen, so it's really easy to use. I feel like I can see out of the car really well. Like the windows are pretty big. Like it has good. It'd be really easy to park, you know. I can see it because it's kind of boxy, so I can see where the corners are. So a lot of the reviews I read on the internet were talking about kind of the road noise and kind of the ride quality wasn't that great, but they're comparing it to more expensive cars, you know. But so far I can tell it does have quite a bit of road noise. I like this. The screen is really easy to reach when you're driving. And the power feels really responsive around town. Like it doesn't feel slow right now. Actually, it drives really well. It feels plenty punchy right around town. Now the car does have a CVT, which is, you know, becoming standard on cars nowadays. Most people are never going to know the difference. Like for instance, you just want to know, is it manual shift or automatic?
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, that's all people care about on the 5 freeway and hope that there's not too much traffic. So merging onto the freeway here, honestly the acceleration, if you're willing to let the car rev, it's perfectly fine. So yeah, driving it at 70 miles an hour, there's a bit of wind and road noise, but really for a car in this price category, it's really totally acceptable. Like if you were to drive this back to back with Maggie's car, you'd see what I mean, like how much quieter her car is. I'm gonna floor it and see. Yeah, I mean, the part where you notice the 120 horsepower is when you're on the highway and trying to accelerate. Not so much driving around town, it's plenty of power.
This is the perfect car for me as a first-time buyer. I cannot be any happier.
Yeah, because this was your first like brand new car that you bought for yourself, right?
Right.
Because you inherited the other car from, well, it was your family car or something.
Yeah, it was my family car. And Ian, how tall are you?
I'm 5'11".
Yeah, so look at the room. See,
Yeah,
do you feel small at all?
No, like it's super comfortable. There's a ton of headroom in it. I feel like if I was doing a lot of in-town driving, or for someone who's not as picky, like on the highway, it's fine. But it definitely feels like when you're going 70, you feel like you're going 70. The best way I can put that is if I'm in Maggie's CX-5 going 70, I feel like I'm going about 40 because it's so quiet and so smooth that I don't really know how fast I'm going. But in this thing you do, like how Hyundai does their controls and interior. Like it doesn't feel cheap at all. It doesn't feel cheap. I mean, I noticed like, okay, the plastic steering wheel, but honestly, there's advantages to plastic steering wheel because you don't have to do it. You don't have to take care of the leather. There's no leather to maintain in here. It's easy to clean.
Very, very easy to clean.
Right. And you keep your cars really clean. Unlike Maggie. If you're watching, Maggie. Yeah, I don't know why Maggie didn't get that gene, but
yeah, it skipped.
It skipped. So there's a USB port here, and there's a 12-volt outlet. Okay. Actually, there's 2 USB ports.
The denim, you can actually just charge your phone here without plugging it in.
The denim is their name for their higher end trim.
Yeah, that's the highest one.
It also is the color of denim jeans, right?
Right.
That's why they call it. This is not really a family car. This is like college student or single person, or even a couple with no kids. The car does have a manual mode. You can flip it over here and, you know, downshift in quotes. I mean, you never use that, I would bet.
No, I never.
That verifies my theory that no one uses these sport modes in a transmission.
I drive a lot, yeah. That's why one of my main concern with a new car is that I have to get a very good fuel economy out of this car. But at the same time, it has to have enough room for my stuff.
Right.
Love this compartment. Put all my stuff.
Yeah, that's nice. And the glove box is pretty big.
Glove box is huge. You can put your stuff.
Yeah, so it's got 2 cup holders in the center here. The door cards are kind of small. You couldn't put a cup in the door.
Yeah, you couldn't put. Yeah, no.
So you're really up front. You've basically just stuck with the 2 cup holders, right?
Yes. So if you're single like me, just a young starting professional, very tight on budget, would you consider buying this car?
Yes. The only problem for me with this car is not that I don't like this car. It's that for a couple grand more, I could get a Mazda CX-30. And the CX-30 just came out, and it's definitely the leader of the class, but it's a little bit larger than this. I tried to stretch my budget to get the CX-30, but I would have no problem recommending this car for someone like you. And so when you told me you were buying one, I was really happy. Yeah, this backup camera, because the screen is so big. I mean, this is a much bigger screen than Maggie's car has. But yeah, the climate controls are super easy to use on this car. So I'd probably have it like around here if I was, and I'm 5'11", or 6 foot on a good day. But I mean, my knees touching this, but it's perfectly comfortable. Like I could sit back here all day. And it's a little tight, but it's fine, and I can put my feet under the chair, under the seat. Now here, hand me the. Can you hand me the car seat? Oh, precious baby here. And you know what? Now I'm putting it in the center because, as an example, I mean that is the safest place to put a car seat if you just have one kid. So actually, it's fine in the center. I mean, it's kind of touching these front seats, but this is perfectly fine. It fit a lot easier than I thought. But now, if you had 2 car seats, that's where we're going to have a problem. Because see, the base of the seat is not touching. So if you had 2 car seats, you'd have to really have the front seats pretty far forward. Okay, now it's okay. But that seat is pretty far forward. Let me sit in it. So yeah, now my knees are up against the. So this is the reality of having a small car, right? And this is why Americans buy big cars. If I have a car seat behind me, my knees are touching the the plastic here, and that's just the reality of a smaller car. So using the car seat, because everyone kind of knows how big these are, as an example, size reference. But it works for you, right?
Yeah, it works for me.
I mean, just getting groceries for 1 or 2 people. But when you have a kid, that's when everything gets messed up.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Natalie.
You're welcome.
You can easily pull up detailed specs for the Venue online, so I won't spend too much time on this part. What you need to know is the Venue sits in the subcompact crossover segment. Technically, this means it competes with larger cars like Hyundai's own Kona and many other competitors from other brands like the Toyota CHR, Mazda CX-30, and many more. But if you really look at the size, this coming in at just 160 inches long, it's actually 10 inches shorter than a Toyota CHR and 5 inches shorter than Hyundai's own Kona. So while it is a subcompact crossover, it's on the very small end of the segment. It uses a naturally aspirated, which means no turbos to break down the line, 4-cylinder engine with 121 horsepower and 113 pound-feet of torque. It comes with a 5-year, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty and has a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Hyundai is known for their long warranties, and as Natalie told us, it attracted her to this brand over getting another Toyota product which she previously owned. I do wish Hyundai would adopt a full suite of active safety features such as adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, and more, much like Toyota is now doing even on their cheapest cars. If I was buying a Venue, I'd get the denim trim level, due to the most standard features and also the cool two-tone color that comes in. But that puts the price a little bit higher, and that leads me to my next point. While the Venue is an amazing value, has a great warranty, has arguably really good looks, for me, in this category made up of things like the Ford EcoSport, Subaru Crosstrek, Jeep Renegade, Nissan Kicks, etc., there's one clear leader, the Mazda CX-30. The CX-30, which just came out recently, has leapfrogged everything else in the category with this large standard engine, stellar looks, great standard features, very sporty driving dynamics, and Audi-esque cabin. So for me, if I could stretch my budget, I'd go for the slightly larger Mazda. However, if I needed a very affordable crossover with a great warranty, and if I could live with the small size, I would not hesitate to get a Venue. Thanks again so much to Natalie for letting us review her car. If you found this video useful, please subscribe so you don't miss future reviews, and please hit the thumbs up icon, it really helps me keep doing these videos. See you next time.